This video is brought to you by SoccerPro.com, offering everyday low prices on all the latest soccer gear with no membership fees. Don't forget to use coupon code SR4U at checkout for 10% off any order of $75 or more. Hey guys, Josh from SoccerReviewsForYou.com, bringing you an unboxing plus on-feet video of the Nike CTR360 Maestri 3 in the brand new current blue, Volt, and black colorway. Like all the top-end models from Nike, a string bag is included. This particular string bag is current blue in color with your CTR360 and Nike logos there on the front. That's it for extras, so I'll get the shoes out of the box, get this box out of the way really quickly, and if you guys could take a second to leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. So here is a look at the latest colorway of the very popular Maestri 3 model. Again, if you guys would like more information on the overall performance of this guy, be sure to check out the full written review linked down below in the description on my website, SoccerReviewsForYou.com, as well as the annotation on screen that will take you to my playtest review video that went up not too long ago. So go ahead and check that out if that does interest you. As far as the colorway itself goes, it uses 5 colors in total to make up the current blue colorway of the Maestri 3. You have your 2 shades of blue on the upper, a darker blue here, and then a lighter blue that takes up pretty much the entire front half of the boot. You have your Volt accents in the Nike swoosh, the laces, this little piece here on the instep, and of course the little bit here of the studs on the base of the sole plate. You have your black, which makes up the tongue, the heel liner, the insole itself is in black as you can see. This little heel tab as well is in black. And then of course your Nike swoosh there at the bottom, as well as the Nike swoosh there at the toe. And then you do have your white at the heel, as well as the majority of the sole plate being white as well. Definitely a pretty good looking colorway. A lot of the pros are wearing this one on TV right now for the Confederations Cup. I even noticed a lot of the pros have black laces in as opposed to Volt laces, which personally I think looks a lot better. I tend to like it when the color of the laces matches the color of the tongue, and if you do swap black laces in there, personally I think it just looks really, really good. Now to touch on the performance features of this particular shoe, the upper is made up from a Kangalite material. It's a synthetic, as you guys can see the labeling right there. It's a synthetic made by Nike that is designed to mimic the feel of natural kangaroo leather while still maintaining the benefits of a synthetic material, of course, and it does this very, very well. It's probably one of, if not the nicest synthetic currently out there on the market, especially if you're looking for a leather-like feel. It comes very, very close, if not being exactly the same as a kangaroo leather. And like I said, it does have the benefits of a synthetic material in that it doesn't require any maintenance. It's going to maintain its shape and never overstretch. It takes a lot less time to dry, and of course it's a lot more durable as well because of the lack of maintenance required. Now as far as what the whole design element of the Maestri 3 is, it's designed as a control shoe, and again, no shoe is going to improve your control. It's not going to improve your touch or your ability to make plays. That's really down to the player, but it has a design that is built around having a very, very clean touch on the ball, and you definitely get that from the Maestri 3. That's why the laces are pushed to the instep as opposed to down the middle or towards the outside, leaving you with a very large kind of zone here on the outside of the foot to make touches and control the ball. You have a little bit of dimpling right there, but I found it to be very ineffective in terms of changing how the ball feels against your foot. You're still going to get that soft touch of the Kangalite synthetic no matter what part of the foot that you use. You do have this little kind of cross stitching here going across the base of the forefoot that does help the flexibility and overall comfort of the shoe, since it is kind of like a little bit of a groove in the upper itself. So when you are flexing your foot at the forefoot, it's going to make for a much smoother transition in the upper, and it's not going to make the upper kind of bulge out on you, which is a problem with a lot of synthetics out there. You do have your passing element here on the instep, made up of these little pieces of rubber right there. They do have a little bit of kind of fins here towards the outside of the shoe. They don't really add too much in the way of grip, but they do make for a more solid impact when kind of passing and receiving the ball, something that I'm personally a really big fan of. I could have gone without having the rubber on the shoe altogether, but it is something that does work well with the overall design, and for the most part is something that I think people like. You do have your Kangalite tongue as well, with the memory foam insert running through the middle to kind of decrease any chance of lace bite. The upper itself also does feature ACC. You can see the branding right there. ACC stands for All Conditions Control, and it acts as a wet control element for the boot, basically allowing the upper of the shoe to stay a lot more dry when playing in wet conditions, allowing for better friction or slightly better friction between your foot and the ball. It does work, it's somewhat effective, and it's something that I would rather have on the shoe than not have. So definitely a good feature on the shoe in my opinion. You do have your internal plastic heel counter right there. The heel and ankle collar area is lined in suede, very, very high quality. give you guys a quick look at the insole. The insole is lined with a synthetic leather material, very, very soft. You do have your kind of texturing here at the forefoot just to help to prevent any kind of slippage at the front of the shoe. And the insole itself is relatively thin. It's made out of a pretty dense foam. It's slightly perforated, as you can see. Very lightweight, low profile, and does a good job of giving you that nice comfortable feel when you step into the shoe, so nothing really to complain about here. The sole plate itself is actually a compressed TPU. It's a little bit thinner than what you're going to find on most of Nike's other top-end models, keeping you nice and low to the ground, but also maintaining a pretty good amount of rigidity and overall responsiveness, which is definitely what you're looking for from pretty much any soccer shoe out there. The stud pattern itself, as you can see, is somewhat kind of similar to what you're going to find on the Nike Tiempo Legend 4 in terms of its layout, but the studs themselves, as you can see, are completely different. The idea here is to have your bladed studs on the outside and your conical studs here on the instep. You can see the conical studs are basically like a half circle, whereas the bladed studs are pretty much perfect rectangles. You have your two support studs in the middle and the forefoot, and of course your four studs in the heel, and again, that same pattern applies. You have your bladed studs on the outside, conical studs on the inside, and basically the reasoning for that is that a conical stud releases from the ground a little bit more quickly, while the bladed studs tend to provide a little bit more in the way of grip and traction. So you kind of have the best of both worlds with this particular stud pattern, and it definitely performs well when playing on firm natural grass playing surfaces. So that's pretty much it as far as the technical specifications of the shoe itself, and I'll move on to a quick weigh-in so you can get a better idea as to how lightweight these guys are. The Maestri 3 is actually a pretty lightweight soccer shoe, which you guys will see in just a second. I'm going to weigh this pair in for you guys in real time. Keep in mind this is a brand new pair in a size 9 US. We're going to throw it on the scale, and you can see that these guys weigh in at 8.15 ounces. So for a shoe that provides some pretty decent protection and an overall soft touch on the ball, 8.15 ounces is definitely a good weight range to be in. So if you were looking at the Maestri 3 but were worried about weight, it's definitely not something that you should worry about with this particular model. So that's pretty much it as far as the weigh-in portion of this video goes, and move on to quick on feet so you can get a better idea as to how these shoes fit and what the sizing is like. Alright, here's a look at the Maestri 3s on feet. And I actually went and grabbed a pair of black laces from another pair of shoes and put them in there just to see what they would look like. Personally, I prefer the look of the black ones. Again, it's not something that's available with the shoe, but if you do have an extra set of black laces, personally I think it looks better in this particular colorway. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. As far as the overall fit of the shoe itself goes, the Maestri 3 has a very comfortable fit about it. It has a tighter fit given that it is a synthetic material, but it doesn't feel cramped. It feels almost like a leather shoe, but again, it's not going to have the same amount of stretch as a natural leather shoe would. It does have some stretch to it, but the way that it fits from right out of the box is pretty much how it's going to fit for the rest of its lifespan. It has plenty of width through the midfoot and kind of start of the forefoot area where the lacing system is, whereas the front of the forefoot as well as the toe box area definitely has a tighter, slightly more cramped feel, if you will. So if you do have very, very wide feet, it's probably best to stay away from synthetics altogether and just go for something that does feature a full natural leather upper. The suede heel liner and ankle collar is one of my personal favorite features of this particular shoe, and it makes for just a very comfortable fit as well as locks your heel in place very, very comfortably. As far as sizing goes, I'm wearing a size 9 US in this particular shoe, and the Maestri 3 actually does run a half size smaller than every other Nike silo. So if you are ordering from the CTR360 line, I would definitely recommend going a half size up. I'm wearing my usual size 9 US, and I can fit into the shoes. They are just very, very tight, but that's personally something that I like to wear. I really like that nice tight feel. So if you want a super tight feel, then you can stick true to size, but for a more comfortable fit, I would definitely recommend going a half size up. So that's pretty much it as far as the on-feet portion of this video, and I'll leave you to my final thoughts. Alright guys, that's it for my unboxing of the Nike CTR360 Maestri 3. This was my personal favorite release of 2012 and a boot that I can recommend to pretty much anybody. If you're somebody who is currently wearing a natural leather soccer shoe and is looking to transition into a synthetic boot, the Maestri 3 is definitely something that you should take into consideration. If you guys would like more information on the overall performance, again, the link can be found down below in the description to the review page on my website, where you will not only find the full written review, but also buy it now links with the best prices online, including exclusive SR4U coupon codes to get yourself some additional discounts if you are interested in ordering a pair for yourself. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest soccer gear. You can find all of my social media links down below in the description. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, And as always, thanks for watching.